Salut tout le monde, it's that time of year to get active, enjoy the outdoors, and see new things. Don't forget to pack your French, because in this series we'll be taking French language, culture, and history on the go. Whether you're in a big city or a small town, getting around is needed to see the sights. Today you'll learn how to ask and understand directions, methods of transport, and famous French destinations. C'est parti! Asking for directions in another language can be nerve-wracking, but we'll break it down into 3 easy parts. You'll need the interrogative pronoun où, a verb, and where you want to go. Here are 2 ways to pull it all together. The first example is traditional and formal. The second example will have you sounding like a native by substituting the place with il or elle. Où est le musée d'Orsay? Elle est où la Tour Eiffel? At this point, you could take a taxi, show an address, and get to your destination. But if you want to experience the city like a local, take le métro to get around Paris. The verbs monter and descendre are used to communicate getting on and off the bus or train. You'll hear the nouns un arrêt de bus for bus stop and une gare for train station when asking for directions. Let's see how this could play out in real life.
Pardon, mais je suis un peu perdu. Comme d'habitude. Hein? Rien. Comment je peux vous aider? Il est où le musée d'Orsay? Alors, montez dans le bus 26 et restez pendant 8 arrêts. D'accord. Descendez à la gare Saint-Lazare et ensuite montez dans le métro 12. Pouvez-vous être plus précis? C'est la ligne verte. Ah, d'accord. Descendez à l'arrêt Solferino et voilà, vous êtes arrivé. Vous m'avez sauvé la vie. Did you know le musée d'Orsay in Paris used to be called La Gare d'Orsay? It was a train station in the late 1800s, and it's now one of the biggest museums in Europe, housing the largest collection of Impressionist art in the world. Impressionnant.
Commuting within a city offers many ways to reach your destination, especially in Paris. It's a very walkable and cyclable city. Sometimes it's easier to travel that way. When deciding on how to get somewhere, modes of transport take on the prepositions en and à. A simple rule is, if it requires getting inside something, use en. And if it requires getting on something, use à. For example, il va au travail à cheval, il va au travail en voiture.
Quel hasard! Oui, c'est marrant. Je voudrais aller à la Tour Eiffel, mais quelle est la meilleure façon d'y arriver d'ici? D'ici, je vous recommande d'y aller en vélo. Je sais pas faire du vélo. Dans ce cas, on y va à pied par la voie express rive gauche. Je suis trop fatigué pour marcher. Eh ben, allez-y en voiture et prenez un taxi, je sais pas là. Très bonne idée. Merci encore, hein? It's no secret that bike riding is very popular in France. Every year, le Tour de France is the most watched sporting event in the world, beating out the Olympics and the World Cup.
Before we continue, it's only right that this next piece of information isn't left out. You might not have the option of taking public transportation in smaller towns. And assuming you aren't a walking GPS, these verbs in the imperative present tense will point you in the right direction. Tourner à droite, prendre à gauche, faire demi-tour, continuer tout droit. These direction verbs will need to be formed using the imperative. Conjugate the verbs using the tu or vous form and omit the subject pronoun. Now those are some easy directions, huh?
GPS, je suis perdu. Je cherche la plage de Castel. Ah, vous n'êtes pas loin. D'abord, tournez à droite au feu. D'accord. Prenez à gauche à la pharmacie et allez tout droit. Ok. Ensuite, faites demi-tour après le rond-point. Attendez, mais cela nous ramène au point de départ? Oh, mais parce que vous êtes déjà à la plage. Ta voix me dit quelque chose. On s'est déjà rencontrés? Vous m'avez confondu avec quelqu'un d'autre. Désolé. Considering visiting the famous l'Arc de Triomphe, the largest military monument in Europe is surrounded by a roundabout of epic proportions. When accidents happen there, it's the one place insurances always split the cost 50-50, no matter who's at fault. Sounds like a great place to have your first driving lesson.
Hopefully you're feeling a little less lost after learning how to ask and follow directions, modes of transport, and French destinations. That subscribe button will direct you right back to the channel for the next episode. Hope to find you here soon. À bientôt.